Welcome back to the Cincy Sports Scene Podcast, the show for Cincinnati fans who live and breathe Bengals, Reds, Bearcats, and FCC. It's post-Labor Day, and the season is here, and tonight we're putting the Bengals under the microscope. We've got a spicy quick hitters on FCC, UC, and the Reds, plus our interactive Bengals Season Prediction Challenge. We're going game by game, making bold calls, and you get to throw your record prediction in the comments to prove you know the Bengals better than we do. So let's kick it off. It's episode 143. All right. So as we go right into episode 143 and our quick hitters, once again, Sam is here and we'll talk real quick. FCC versus Philly. Things you like, things you didn't like, where we're at, and do you think it's going to hold up?
Yeah, I mean, they've lost against Philly. It's their third straight home loss. They got shut out, which was a bit disappointing considering, kind of the capability of the players that they have, offensively with Evander and Kevin Danke and those guys. To not score a goal at home was a bit disappointing. It happens. It's not a great time to, start losing games. But, I mean, they're still in the mix for the Supporter Shield and for the 1 seed in the East, which at the end of the day is all you can really ask for in the regular season. I think they still have 5 games left now. So, I mean, plenty of time to turn it around and right the ship in time for the playoffs, which is what their main focus is on. Pretty sure they have a spot in the playoffs clinched already. It might only be a wild card at this point, but, at this point they are in the playoffs. So, I mean, outside of that, it's not really a whole lot to take away from the game. I mean, it was a 1-0 game, so defense, it's not like the defense was bad. Just couldn't get anything going in their possession.
Yeah. Did you see the comment in the paper? I don't know if you saw that. The GM said that he thinks that the new additions, they're ready to compete to win it all.
Yeah, I did see that. They were asking, about pressure on the team and all of that stuff. And he's like, they built this team to be a winner. They've had 2 years in a row, a couple of losses that they shouldn't have had in the playoffs. To Columbus and New York City last year, I believe. Maybe that was 2 years ago. Maybe it's the other way around.
No, it was New York City last year. They went there.
Yeah, and Columbus the year before.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, especially that Columbus one, they should have won that game, and they didn't. So, I mean, they have kind of had some disappointing ends to the season in the playoffs. So, I definitely do think that, they need to get it done. That's the goal. That's their stated goal. They know this is the roster that they've built. Like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to win the MLS Cup.
Yep.
So anything short of that, I would think they would consider it maybe not a failure, but a letdown or a disappointing season. I would consider it a little disappointing as well, but they're still the best summer franchise we have in the city. So I don't want to call them a failure,
right?
Because they're actually going out and trying to compete. Or not trying to compete, they are competing. They're trying to get better. They're spending money. So yeah, I mean, I think they'll end up being all right. I think they'll get it fixed. Everybody will start gelling. They've got kind of a week and a half pause here for the international break. MLS actually has an MLS break in their schedule for some reason now, out of all the times. So hopefully that'll help guys get a little bit of rest and just kind of recoup a little bit.
All right. So let's hope that, they can rebound and get the next victory and keep, going to where they're peaking at the playoffs. And speaking of peaking, the offense Thursday night, the Bearcats offense was not peaking at all. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. Quarterback play. I mean, yeah, he ran the ball well, but throwing the ball
for 60 yards.
Yeah,
60 yards.
Yeah, not very good. So, the Bearcats lost 20-17 in Arrowhead. It was a home game. They sold the rights because they wanted the money, whatever. But the question is, Satterfield already on the hot seat.
Yeah, he was on the hot seat going into the year, and he did nothing to cool his seat down.
Well, I was going to say, is it hotter now? Or
yeah, it should be. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it is. If I was the AD, it would be. Well, if I was the AD, we wouldn't play that game in Arrowhead, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it should be for him and Cunningham. They should both be on the hot seat.
Yeah, I mean, Cunningham has not made very good hires
his record
here.
Is not I mean, no postseason success from anybody that he's hired.
Right. Because he didn't hire
You could
Fickle,
say which.
right? Did he hire
I don't
Fickle or
think he
not?
hired Fickle.
I don't think he hired
don't
Fickle
think he
either.
hired Fickle. No.
I think he came.
He came in when Fickle was still here, but I don't think
Right.
he hired Fickle.
Yeah, so he hired Satterfield and he hired Brannon and
Brannon and Wes. And I mean, I like Wes. I like Wes more than Satterfield, but Wes hasn't done anything.
No, he hasn't
made an NCAA tournament.
But we'll get there.
With him.
Yeah, we'll get that.
That's the point.
That's basketball season. We'll get that.
So, UC football, I mean, to have quarterback who's now in the second year in your system, you're supposed to be an offensive guy. To throw for 60 yards in a college football game,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some kid at the school for the blind that could have done that. I mean, that's terrible. I mean, that's absolutely terrible.
Yep. So let's talk about Bowling Green coming up, right? And obviously, they're favored. First home game. Bowling Green is no pushover.
No,
they could. I mean, I don't want to say they could. I mean, they could beat UC, but they shouldn't beat
UC can lose to anybody on their schedule.
Yes, they can.
100% can.
And it's been proven before. So what kind of bold prediction are you seeing for this game?
I think the defense the defense played well against Nebraska, I thought. They were put in a couple bad spots where they gave up some points off the turnovers, but I thought overall they played really well. I think the defense will dominate Bowling Green's offense as far as that end's concerned. Bowling Green's offense won't do much. It's whether or not UC's offense will be able to do anything. I wouldn't be surprised if it's, like a 24-7 type of game, and you're just kind of left with a sour, even though they won, by multiple touchdowns, where you're just kind of like, they should have hung 40 plus on these guys, and they didn't. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of worst case scenario, in my opinion. Worst case scenario.
Listening to that, I think my bold prediction then is going to go, I'm going to say special teams going to have, they're either going to run a kickback, a kickoff return back or a punt back, or they're going to block a punt or a field goal or something. Something big's going to happen. They're going to scoop and score or something like that. So that's my bold prediction.
Bowling Green's pretty good at taking opening kickoffs back for touchdowns. I don't know if you saw that, but last year, first game, opening kickoff, touchdown. This year, they did it again. Same guy. So maybe, kick it out of bounds.
Well, maybe bold prediction the other way. Bowling Green runs another one back. But all right. So opening game at NIP, Saturday, 3:30. Show up, be loud. New tailgate area for people as well who don't have a spot. Go check it out. Speaking of checking it out or checking out, the Reds, right? They're 5 games out. Just a rough, half a game out when they went out to LA and then St. Louis. The Mets started winning on a regular basis and the Reds find themselves 5 back. So the question, did the Reds just waste 2025 or is it a setup for 2026?
No, it's been all about 2025 for 3 years now. So we cannot allow Nick Kroll or anybody in the media to say, oh, well, actually, this is just a step towards 2026. No. The reason we didn't get anybody in 2023 at the deadline was because we were long playing it for 2025 and saving our assets. Well, it's here and we're worse. Why that is, we can get into that. I don't really feel like it. I feel like we've done that over the course of the summer. But I mean, they've got some serious issues that they really need to address, managerial wise, front office wise, roster wise. I mean, all the way. They've got some things that they're seriously going to have to consider in the off season. Because it's been an absolute failure this year, as far as I'm concerned.
It has been 24 games, counting tonight's game. And last time I checked, it was 0-0, middle of the second.
5-1 Reds.
5-1 Reds now. Awesome. Yeah. So my big thing is you look back at the trade deadline, and at the time we're saying we're not doing enough. We didn't do enough. But the move he made, the 2 moves have actually been really...
They've worked.
They worked, yes.
It wasn't enough.
Because we have too many hole. Now, I don't even want to say holes, but we just have too many non-star players, right? We don't have anybody
we have
who
a bunch of guys that deserve to be in the bigs. They 100% do. But they're not difference makers.
Yeah, right. It's like we don't have somebody who, like a Bryce Harper or a Juan Soto, says, "Hop on my back, I'm carrying this team." Right? We want LA to be that. He's not. I mean, this is only his third year, and
he has one homer since
he's improved.
July.
Yeah, he's improved each year, which is great. But I don't know. Marte's
been a pleasant surprise.
Moving out to the outfield. Even though his metrics defensively is a little shaky, but his arm has gotten better. He has 2 outfield assists and 1 hold in 100 attempts. That is rarefied air for his first 100 attempts. You can't put him anywhere other than right. You can't move him to center like they did. You can't do David Bell, right? You can't do that with this kid who's just trying to figure out how to play the outfield. You can't say, okay, now you got to go play center field and learn how to go back on a ball that's hit directly at you. You just can't do that. But his batting average is going up since he's played right field. And I think he knows he's going to be out there and he's getting comfortable with that. And it's showing at the plate.
Yeah, Ellie has 1 home run since the All-Star break, basically. He has 19 on the year. So he has 1 home run in about 2.5 months for a total of 19, and he still leads the team in home runs. That shows you our lack of power. And honestly, that's our main issue.
That is our main issue.
When you play in the ballpark that we do, you have to hit home runs, especially if you're not going to let guys run. You're not going to let them steal.
That's the other thing, right? It's like we were 6th in the league last year in stolen bases. This year, we are 21st, 22nd, something like that.
Yeah. These guys didn't get slower.
Right. And Valakia wants to hit, gap to gap, take quality at bat, singles. If we get the home run, great. You put a good swing on it, the ball is going to go out, those kind of things. But you've got to be able to run and you've got to be able to steal. You got to create runs.
Right. That's a fine approach if you're TJ Friedl.
Right.
But when you've got guys that actually have some pop, I mean, you got to swing for the fences a little bit.
A little bit.
And, I mean, they don't really have a whole lot of guys that have pop anyways, so that's part of the issue.
Yep.
They need to go get a couple of those guys.
They do.
But, so, I mean, maybe that's why, because it's you're a hitter power-wise anyways. Don't try and hit home runs. Let's just try and put good swings. But you got to run. You got to use your athleticism and run. I mean, they've got several guys with plus speed. They should be running nonstop.
Yep. So speaking of power hitters, September call-up for Sal Stewart, number 1 prospect in the Reds organization. And, debuted 1 for 3, scored a run. I think he went 0 for 4 last night. Not in the lineup tonight, which is fine. I mean, I'd like to see him in every game, but, it is what it is. But my thing is with Stewart, September spark or just a false hope?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a spark. He can try only once, but the rest of the team is still out there. I mean, there's usually an adjustment period. I mean, every now and then somebody goes on a Jay Bruce run when they first get called up, but that's pretty rare. Most guys, it takes a little bit of time for them to adjust.
Keno.
Yeah, exactly. Keno type run.
The Punisher.
I don't see that happening. It'd be great if it did, but I don't think you can count on that. I think it's a move that they made about 2 weeks too late if they were looking for that spark. And at this point, it's just to get him a month worth of big league at-bats going into next year, which is a bit disappointing that that's where we're at in the season now.
Right. But the other thing is, where's he going to play? Is he going to be our first baseman? I mean, obviously, he was playing third base in the minors. And Hayes, you can't move him off third, and he's batting 280 since the trade for Cincinnati. Yeah. I mean, that is a typical change of scenery worked. Now, hopefully, it carries in. And
carries into next year as well. But
we just need to they just need to be able to find a spot for him. And whether it's permanent DH, fine. But they got to keep him there. They got to keep him there, and they got to let him have 500 at bats, 600, 550 at bats.
Yeah.
Because I think he'll make that adjustment, and he's hit everywhere he's been after like the adjustment period, which has only been 1 or 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah. AAA was what I think like his first like 7 or 8 games. He was
struggling,
not good,
but then
I mean he took off. So
exactly. So hopefully
I mean, he can hit.
Yeah, he can hit. He's a hitter.
He'll be good.
He's a hitter. Yep. So speaking of that, that was our quick hitting segment, and we're going to move into our trivia. And if you want to play along, you can. The listeners and viewers, if you email us at CincySportScene at yahoo.com, and then, or you can DM us or send us a comment on Twitter or Instagram at Cincy Sports Scene as well with the answer. So last week I had the question, or 2 weeks ago I had the question, and it was about catchers from single season home run records. They had to have at least 50% of their games behind the plate. And who were the 4 that Cal Raleigh passed? And how many did you get?
I think I just got the 1, and then I got the other ones later.
Right.
I just got 1 during the segment.
So which one did you get? You got Bench?
I got Bench during the segment.
Bench, and then he passed Salvador Perez, and then Javi Lopez.
Yeah, that was the one.
That was the one that was tough. Was tough to get. So there you have it. Those are the top 4 that he passed, and you have the question this week.
Yeah, so I was basing this off of a graphic that I saw on Twitter earlier today that I just thought was an insane graphic. So there are 3 Big 4 professional teams in the U.S. that have not won a home playoff game this century. And really it's only 2, but it's actually 3. I'll explain. If you don't get the third, I'll explain it to you.
Okay, so 3
franchises from the Big 4 professional leagues have not won a home playoff game this century. Since 2000.
Since 2000. Well, the Reds.
The Reds are 1.
Reds are 1. Sorry about the barking. Something's out there, and he's going crazy. But so the Reds are 1.
I will tell you the other 2. One is an NFL team, and one is an NHL team.
I won't know the NHL team.
No, I didn't.
Wait, no.
Yes.
NFL team. I got to guess, but I don't think that's right. I want to say. I want to say Buffalo, but
it's not Buffalo.
It's not Buffalo because
they've won a couple home playoff games with Josh Allen.
Yeah, they won Hamlin's or DeMar. I think it was Hamlin's game that he came back, and then they played the Bengals and got smoked. I don't know. That's a good one. That is a good one. So if you guys can help me out there in listening land or on YouTube here, go ahead and drop your answer in the comments for us, and then come back next week. If you are the first ones that we read, then you'll get a big old shout out, and possibly can ask the next trivia question for us. So that was the trivia. Now, moving on to our topic of the week. We have the Bengals season predictions, and what we are going to be doing here, we're going to give you some hot takes that we have. We're going to go game by game lightning picks, and we're going to have a fan interaction challenge to see which of our fans out there can pick better than us, or are we better pickers than them? And then we're going to debate some key players, offense and defense players. So the first thing, we're going to drop a big, bold prediction here, and then we'll either agree with each other or we will disagree and try to give our reasons why we disagree and the rebuttal. So, Sam, you want to go first with your big, bold prediction?
Sure, yeah, I'll go first. the Bengals are going to sweep all the major individual awards. So MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year.
That's a bold prediction.
That's
That's a big bold.
I mean, they could have done it last year if they'd had a better record.
Yeah, they probably should have done it.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. I think my bold prediction is going to be that the Bengals are going to win the NFC North by 2 games.
2 games.
By 2 games. So I think that's my bold prediction.
That'll be, that's, wow. All right.
So 2 games. So when we make our game-by-game picks, you'll see why.
You better start doing the math.
Yeah, better start doing the math there, yes. All right, next up here, let's go game-by-game lightning picks. And, let's just see what we have here. So I ran a computer-generated AI version, gave them some parameters, and said, pick the Bengals record. And I've got Chat's game-by-game thing. And we'll do ours real quick, and then I'll tell you what Chat did as well. So week 1 coming up here this Sunday against the Browns in Cleveland. What do you got?
I've got a win.
I got a win as well, and so did Chat. All right, week 2, their home opener versus the Jaguars.
That is a win as well.
And that's what I have. Week 3, they head north to Minneapolis to take on the Vikings.
I have that as a win.
I have that as a win, and so does Chat. Week 4 at the Broncos is the Monday night game.
Yep, I have this as their first loss.
Okay, I have that as a win just because they gotta make ground, so they're going to be 4-0. Flip Zach Taylor's record.
Yeah.
I think Burrow's going to play well on Monday night. Week 5 versus the Lions at home.
Yep. And that is a win.
You have that as a win. I have that as a win as well. So, and then week 6, they're at Green Bay.
It's tough. I'm going to go with a win.
Okay. This is their first loss. I just think, I don't know. I just think that they will lose in Green Bay. The Chat has them losing as well, and they have them on a 3-game losing streak. The Chat, sorry, I forgot to mention that. They lost to the Broncos, the Lions, and the Packers. So then it's week 7 against the Steelers, Thursday night football at home.
And that is a win.
A win? You froze. So I think he said he's got that as a win. Okay. Yep. I have it as a win, and so does Chat. And then week 8 versus the Jets.
That's a win as well.
Yep. That's a win for me and a win for versus the Bears.
Yeah. Bears I have as a win as well.
I think that's a clean sweep. And week 10, they have the bye. And then week 11, they are at Pittsburgh.
I have this one as a loss.
That's what I do too. In Pittsburgh, for some reason, I have them at a loss. Then the next week, they're they're home versus the Patriots. Chat had the Steelers as a loss. So week 12 versus the Patriots.
So Patriots, I have that as a win.
You have that as a win. So do I. And so does Chat. Week 13 at Baltimore, Thanksgiving.
Finally get it done, Baltimore on Thursday. So I'm going with a win.
That's what I said as well. Chat has them losing. And then week 14, they are at the Bills.
I have that as a win as well.
Me too. Week 15 versus the Ravens at home.
I have that as a loss.
Yeah, I think the Ravens come back and beat them. So Chat has them winning. Versus the Dolphins on Sunday Night Football, week 16.
I have that as a win.
I do too. And Chat has them as a loss. Week 17 versus the Cardinals.
Cardinals, that's a win as well.
That's what I have, and Chat does too. And then week 18 versus the Browns.
I have that as a loss just because we have the division wrapped up and we're resting guys.
Yep. I have it as a win just because they're going to be playing either Shador or...
Quarterback might not even be on the roster.
Yeah, right. I mean, who knows? Watson might be coming back and he might get a play. we'll tally them up. How many did you have?
It should have been 13-4. Let me just double check. Yeah, 13-4.
So you're 13-4.
Yep.
I am 14-3, and chat was 10-7. And just to let everybody know out there, drop your comments or drop your scores, your predictions in the comments here below, and see if you are better at predicting than us. I know I have high hopes for this Bengals offense, and we'll get into, here are some key players here in a moment. But, I want them to win the division. 14 is probably going to do it, and they'll win by 2, have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. That's what I'm hoping for.
That'd be nice.
Yes. So fans, go ahead, drop it in, and we'll go week by week, and we'll see we'll keep a running tally to see who actually has the best predictions over there. So now, before we get out of here, we do want to talk a little bit about key players and spend a little time here. And Sam and I are both going to give you our predictions for, I guess, who is going to be the most important offensive and defensive player. So why don't you go ahead and lead us off, son, with whatever side of the ball you want.
Yeah,
Offense
I'm going
or
to go
defense?
Offense, and for the purpose of this, I kind of push Joe Burrow to the side. We all know he's number one. I'm actually going to go with Chase Brown, just for the reason that he will bring some sort of balance to the offense. We've seen it. He can be a reliable back that you can hand the ball off to and not, where he can make some stuff happen. He can make plays. He can make plays out of the backfield as a receiver. So it's just another weapon at, their disposal. Defenses, they're going to key in on Chase. That leaves Higgins, they try and key in on Higgins. It leaves Chase. They key on both of them and say, you guys are going to have to beat us running it. If Chase Brown's going, he's kind of the X factor. If he can run it against light boxes like he did last year, the offense will be unstoppable again. So for me, he's the most important, but if he regresses or gets injured or just, doesn't play well, become too pass happy and one dimensional, it makes it, so much tougher. So I think he's our most, not the best. He's not going to have the best stats, but he's the most important from an X factor term.
Well, I'm going to go a little different route, and I'm going to say Dalton Reiser, the newly acquired guard. Yeah, Reisner, guard. That how quickly he can get the playbook and up to speed, because I think if you put him there and our other guard, who's a rookie, who won the position, won that battle, if you can solidify the interior with Karras and the two guards, the two tackles are going to take care of themselves, and you can give Burrow time. If you can give Burrow 4 seconds, nobody can guard, But if it's going to be our offensive line being a sieve again up the middle, because we don't have, guards that can block, no running, no passing,
right.
It's going to be quick, short passes, and Chase and Higgins and Gesicki are going to have to do their thing and break tackles and go. So I think the guard play is going to be huge. All right. For me, defensively, I think it's going to have to be Cam Taylor-Britt. I think he needs to rebound. If he can be that lockdown corner that we so desperately need and want him to be, I think that's going to help our secondary a little bit. We don't have to roll coverage over towards him, or, linebackers don't have to drop into the zone slant coverage as quickly as they were doing, and play action pass or play action, and
they won't have to drop as deep either.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. They won't have to drop as deep, and they can stop the run a little bit better. So that's who my key defensive player is.
Yeah, I kind of went same lines. I went with Geno Stone. Because you think about it, kind of best defenses the Bengals had in this previous run was when Jesse Bates was back there cleaning everything up. So if Geno Stone can kind of return to that last year in Baltimore where he had 8 picks, even the last couple games that he played in this past season, he looked like that. So as long as he can stay away from the first half of the season, it just helps tremendously when the safety can come up, or slide over, corner gets beat, but he's back there, he can break up the pass, or a linebacker misses a tackle, but he can still stop him short of the first down. He didn't do that at all last year. So if he can do that and get back to that form, that traditional free safety center field form, I think that would help tremendously. Just the corners to have a little more confidence. They don't have to play perfect. Gives the rushers a little bit more time to get after the quarterback. I definitely think it would help out.
Yeah, and our fans out there are probably saying, "Well, nobody said B.J. Hill or I can't remember the other guy we picked up on defensive tackle to stop the run." But
what's his name?
Yeah,
I can't think of his name right now either.
Right. We'll know, but no. I mean, we both went secondary because, I just think that's.
I mean, you just look the AFC. I mean, they want to throw the ball. All these quarterbacks want to throw the ball.
Yeah.
I know outside of the Steelers,
Right.
But even now, Rodgers is still going to want to throw the ball.
Right. He's not going to want to hand off.
Exactly. They're going to be a different offense, I think, than what we've seen before. So I think, guys want to throw the ball, especially in the AFC. I mean, 6 of the top 7 quarterbacks are all in the AFC?
Yeah.
And we've got, we're missing Mahomes and Herbert this year.
But
we still got to play Allen. We still got to play Lamar twice. So that'll be a huge, huge test. I think secondary is going to be a little bit more important than the interior run defense.
Yep, I agree.
That's not to say that they don't have to be better, because they absolutely do.
They do have to be better. You are correct. You are correct there. All right, so that's a wrap for episode 143 of the Cincinnati Sports Scene Podcast. Don't forget to drop your Bengals season records in the comments and see if you can beat our records and the bot's 10-7 prediction. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the show with your fellow Cincinnati fans. Next week, we're rolling out a brand new segment, Truth or Trash. We'll break down the biggest week 1's overreactions from the Bengals Nation and also around the NFL and decide whether they're the real deal or total garbage. Trust me, you'll want to jump in on this one and check it out. So until then, enjoy the kickoff weekend. Remember, if it's Steelers talk, the trash is always real. So until next time, everybody take care.
See ya.